Hi, Dennis Hall here with learningtemplates.com. I'm going to show you how to add an e-learning button to your lifterlms xapi course, lesson, or quiz. What we're going to do is we're going to be following these directions, and these videos are located here. So the directions seem very long, but they're really quite simple. It's just I want to be very detailed in what I tell you to do here. And we'll also go through the end results of what we've done. So we've already uploaded an e-learning course, so we're going to go to a lesson, and that lesson has a toolbar, and in that toolbar there is the xapi. There are two xapi buttons. One of them is kind of in a black frame, and that's an iframe button. We'll show you how to do that on the next video. Here we're going to add a button into the text, into the lesson. So before we begin, I just want to say I'd like to place my cursor at a specific location where I want that button to be. In this case, it's going to be in the middle of the lesson, so it's nicely centered in the lesson. We'll go ahead and we'll select our course, our uploaded e-learning that we want to have this button launch. We're also going to mark the button. We're also going to control the mark complete of that lesson. Let's go ahead and let's add a background image. We'll use the lifterlms image, and we'll select that, and you'll see that's going to eventually show up in the upper right corner here. Let's go ahead and place the image on the left side of the button, and let's select a color for the button, a background color. We'll make it one of the lighter blue colors, I guess, to be a little more consistent with lifterlms. Maybe kind of a powdery color. So we can go ahead and re-click that to collapse it. And we'll type in some text here. And you'll notice that the button in the upper right is also adjusting based on that. Let's go ahead and let's give it a 30-point font size as well. And once I select the font, any one of these Google fonts listed can be selected. Let's go ahead and let's pick Black Ops 1. So you can see the button has adjusted. And let's go ahead and let's change the color of the text itself to maybe white. And we'll now change the border color to, let's say, that powder blue color again, making it a little bit easier to look at. We'll go ahead and do that. We'll also round the corners of the button itself, make it a little bit nicer. Alright, and we'll make the padding on the left quite a bit. And we'll change the image size for the lifterlms logo so that it starts showing up on the left-hand side as well. We'll maybe make it the full size, maybe a little bit less. That way it's not crowding the text too much. So there we are. So that's a relatively decent looking button. Some of the things we can do is change the padding on the left as well so that the image winds up behind the text. We can also change the image position to the bottom, which will center it in this case, to the top, which in this case is centered as well. But if I do change the padding on the top, you'll see that that button ends up being above, below, to the right, to the left, etc. We'll put it back to the left. So let's go ahead and we can also individually change the padding on the bottom, top, left, or right. So we can increase the button a little bit on the right side, give it a little more balanced look. And we can change it on the left, and we can change the border width as well. So it's very thick or very thin, down to 0 in this case. Let's go ahead and let's insert that. And what we wind up with as a result is a very long shortcode, but it's really important to understand what this shortcode's doing. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. So what it's doing is it's referring to the uploaded e-learning, and the record ID of that is 2 in this case. And you can find out where you can find out that information by going back into lifterlms xapi. And you can click on Update, and you will see in the update there's a tin can launch ID of 2 here. So that's where we're getting that 2 from when you update the tin can record or you add a new tin can record. And you can always come back and update it and take a look at that. So let's go back to the lesson. So that identifies the 2. It's the e-learning course that we're launching. Then the text itself of the button is identified here. The image, and this is the image ID from the media library, and the size of the image, the position of the image as well are all here. The text color itself being black and the font size, the background color of the button and the font size of the text are then identified. Then the font itself, the Google font, the color of the font, the border color, the border radius, the border width, the padding on the top, top, right, bottom, and left are also identified. And then whether we're controlling the mark complete or not. If we don't want this to control the mark complete, it'll be a 0. If we do want it to be that, it'll be 1. Now, why is that important to go through all of this with you? You can then just copy all of this text and as a shortcode, and you can use it anywhere you want in any other lesson. So you can create a library of these shortcodes and put them in a text file or something on your computer. And in every case, whenever you change the course or change mark complete, no matter what you do, or even change the text itself, whatever you do, your button will be identical in its style, format, image, etc. So let's go ahead and let's just test this out now. So I've added this button, and now what we'll do, we'll view the lesson. And here's that button in the lesson. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select View as Student, and you'll be able to see that this lesson has not been marked complete. There is no mark complete button, in fact. Let's go ahead and let's open this course. In this case it is a quiz. So what I'll do is I will select Next, and I will complete and fail the quiz. I'm going to fail this quiz intentionally, so I'm only going to get 33% roughly. So I failed the quiz. Now if I exit this, there still is no mark complete button. Let's go ahead and let's pass this storyline quiz again now, this time. And the passing grade on this was, I believe, 100% was required. So now I've passed it. 70% was required. I've passed it, and now because I've passed it, I now have a mark complete button, and I can move forward in my lifterlms course. Next video, I'm going to show you how to do the same thing in an iframe. Thank you.